Apple has spent decades building one of the most controlled supply chains in the technology industry. It designs its own processors. It negotiates enormous component contracts. It forces suppliers to meet strict standards on performance, reliability, efficiency, and cost. And because Apple sells hundreds of millions of devices, even the possibility that it could approve a new supplier can reshape an entire industry. That is why Washington is now paying extremely close attention to a Chinese memory technologies, better known as CXMT. According to recent reports, Apple has been testing CXMT's DRAM chips for potential use in devices sold inside China. Apple has also reportedly approached the United States government seeking clearance to purchase memory from the company as global chip prices rise. But before Apple could make a final decision, lawmakers in Washington delivered a warning. They urged the Commerce Department not to allow American companies to buy memory chips from CXMT and called for stronger restrictions that could place the Chinese company behind an even higher regulatory wall. So Apple now finds itself trapped between two completely different pressures. On one side, it needs more memory suppliers to control costs and protect its production system. On the other, the United States increasingly views Chinese semiconductors not as ordinary commercial products, but as a national security issue. And behind the political fight is a much larger development. China's domestic memory industry is no longer small enough to ignore. CXMT has grown into the world's fourth largest DRAM producer, and its expansion could eventually threaten the market controlled by Samsung, SK Hynix, and America's Micron. This is not just a disagreement over one Apple supplier. It is a battle over who will control one of the most essential components inside modern technology. Every smartphone, laptop, gaming computer, and data center server needs memory. The processor performs calculations, but DRAM holds the information the processor needs immediately. Without enough fast memory, even an advanced CPU or GPU becomes limited by how quickly data can be delivered. That importance has grown dramatically during the artificial intelligence boom. AI servers consume enormous amounts of memory. Chip companies are directing more production toward high-bandwidth memory for NVIDIA accelerators because those products can generate higher profits than ordinary consumer DRAM. That shift has consequences throughout the market. When manufacturers dedicate more capacity to expensive AI components, supplies for traditional smartphones, computers, and consumer electronics can tighten. Prices rise, contracts become more difficult to negotiate, and companies like Apple lose some of the leverage they normally use against suppliers. Apple has traditionally sourced much of its memory from major companies in South Korea, Japan, and the United States. But Apple rarely wants to depend too heavily on one supplier. Its entire procurement strategy is built around competition. When several companies can produce the same component, Apple can divide orders between them, negotiate lower prices, and protect itself if one supplier experiences a factory problem. A new qualified supplier gives Apple another option. And right now, CXMT wants to become that option. CXMT is China's leading producer of DRAM, the temporary working memory used inside electronics. The company is still behind Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron in the most advanced forms of memory, especially high-bandwidth memory used beside NVIDIA's AI processors. But CXMT does not need to defeat those companies in every category to become strategically important. It only needs to manufacture enough competitive mainstream DRAM to win contracts in smartphones, laptops, and conventional servers. That is where Apple becomes extremely valuable. Supplying memory for even part of Apple's Chinese product line would give CXMT more than revenue. It would provide validation. Apple's qualification process is famously demanding. A component has to perform consistently across huge production volumes, maintain reliability over time, and integrate smoothly with the rest of the device. If CXMT memory passed those tests, other electronics manufacturers would pay attention. The message would be simple. China's leading DRAM company is no longer producing chips only for protected domestic customers. It may be capable of entering the supply chains of the world's most valuable consumer electronics company. That possibility explains why this story has caused such a strong reaction in Washington. Two members of the House Select Committee on China, Republican John Molinar and Democrat George Whitesides, recently urged Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to prevent American purchases of memory chips from Chinese companies. Their request specifically focused on CXMT and Yangtze Memory Technologies, or YMTC. CXMT produces DRAM, YMTC produces NAND flash, the longer-term storage used in smartphones, solid-state drives, and other electronics. Together, the two companies represent China's attempt to challenge foreign dominance across both major categories of memory. The lawmakers argued that allowing American companies to rely on those chips could create national security, economic and supply chain risks. They also called for CXMT to be added to the Commerce Department's entity list and for existing restrictions on YMTC to be strengthened. It is important to understand what that means. CXMT has been designated by the Pentagon as a Chinese military company, but that designation does not automatically create a complete ban on American companies purchasing every product CXMT manufactures. The Commerce Department's entity list is different. Companies placed on that list face strict limitations on receiving American goods, software, and technology without government licenses. Washington has already used export controls to restrict China's access to advanced semiconductor equipment, AI processors, and chip design technology. Adding CXMT to the entity list would make it harder for the company to access foreign tools and expertise needed to improve its production. But the lawmakers want Washington to go further than simply limiting what CXMT can buy. They are concerned about what American companies may be allowed to buy from CXMT. That turns Apple's reported testing into a much larger strategic question. Should an American company be allowed to purchase a component from a Chinese semiconductor producer that Washington considers a potential security concern? Apple may look at the issue from a supply chain perspective. If CXMT can meet technical requirements and offer lower prices, it becomes another commercial supplier. Washington looks at the same transaction differently. Every major Apple contract could generate revenue that helps CXMT expand capacity, improve technology, and compete more aggressively against Micron and allied memory producers. From that perspective, Apple would not simply be buying RAM. It could be helping create a new global competitor in a market the United States considers strategically important. This is where the commercial and political interests begin to collide. Apple wants reliable components at competitive prices. American policymakers want to prevent China from dominating another critical technology sector. And Micron wants to protect its position as the only major American DRAM manufacturer. For decades, the memory industry has been controlled by a small group of companies because producing DRAM at scale is extremely difficult. Memory chips may look like simple commodities, but manufacturing them requires enormous factories, advanced lithography, precise process control, and years of experience managing microscopic defects. A tiny problem on the production line can destroy yields and turn a profitable chip into a loss. That barrier removed many competitors from the market. Today, Samsung, SK hynix, and Micron dominate global DRAM production. CXMT is trying to break into that structure. According to company disclosures reported by Reuters, CXMT held roughly 7.7% of the global DRAM market in 2025, making it the fourth largest producer. That share is still far behind the leaders, but its direction matters more than its current position. CXMT's revenue reportedly increased rapidly during the latest memory upcycle, and the company is preparing to raise billions of dollars through a major public offering in Shanghai. That money is expected to support new production capacity, technology upgrades, and research. China has seen this pattern succeed before. The country entered industries such as solar panels, batteries, and electric vehicles from a weaker technological position. Domestic companies received investment, built supply chains, expanded factories, and competed aggressively on cost. At first, established foreign producers dismissed them. Then Chinese manufacturing reached scale, prices fell, exports increased, and foreign governments began introducing tariffs and restrictions after Chinese companies had already become major competitors. American lawmakers fear memory chips could follow the same path. The concern is not necessarily that CXMT already makes the world's most advanced DRAM. It does not. The concern is that CXMT could use massive domestic demand, state-linked financing, and access to China's electronics industry to improve faster than expected. Even if CXMT begins by competing mainly in ordinary consumer memory, that could pressure Samsung, SK hynix, and Micron. Lower-cost Chinese DRAM could reduce prices in the mainstream market. That sounds positive for buyers. Cheaper memory could lower production costs for smartphones, computers, and servers. Consumers might benefit from more affordable electronics or more RAM inside devices at the same price. But memory manufacturing requires continuous investment. If prices fall too far, established producers earn less money to fund their next generation of factories. That is why the memory industry moves through brutal cycles. Companies expand production when prices are high. Supply eventually catches up. Prices collapse. Manufacturers cut investment. Then shortages return and prices rise again. A heavily backed new competitor could make that cycle even more difficult. Micron faces the greatest political exposure because it is the only large American company producing DRAM at global scale. If Apple began buying significant volumes from CXMT, even only for products sold inside China, it could reduce potential demand for established suppliers. It could also encourage other American companies to request similar permission. Dell, HP, and other hardware brands constantly search for ways to reduce component costs. Once one major American company qualifies Chinese memory, pressure increases on competitors to consider the same option. Washington understands that supply chains become difficult to reverse once companies build products around a supplier. A small trial can become a limited contract. A limited contract can become a multi-year purchasing agreement. And a domestic Chinese supplier can eventually become part of a global product line. But Apple also has serious reasons to explore the relationship. China remains one of Apple's most important manufacturing and consumer markets. The company faces intense competition there from Huawei, Xiaomi, Oppo, and Vivo. Chinese smartphone manufacturers increasingly use domestic components, and Beijing continues encouraging technological self-reliance. Using CXMT memory inside devices sold in China could potentially help Apple lower costs and present itself as more connected to the local supply chain. It could also give Apple protection against global memory shortages. The AI boom has transformed the economics of the memory industry. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron are investing heavily in high-bandwidth memory because NVIDIA, AMD, and other AI chip companies need enormous quantities of it. HBM stacks several layers of memory close to an AI processor, allowing data to move much faster than it can through conventional memory systems. The technology is complicated, expensive, and extremely profitable. As suppliers focus more attention on HBM, ordinary DRAM buyers face stronger competition for manufacturing capacity. Apple does not use HBM in the same way an NVIDIA data center accelerator does, but Apple still purchases huge volumes of conventional memory for iPhones, iPads, and Macs. When memory prices rise, even a small increase per device becomes enormous across Apple's total shipments. That helps explain why the company reportedly approached Washington. Apple is not necessarily choosing China because CXMT has the best memory technology in the world. It may be trying to create another source of supply before costs increase further. But the political environment surrounding Chinese chips has changed dramatically. A decade ago, sourcing a lower-cost component from China would primarily have been a commercial decision. Today, nearly every advanced semiconductor transaction is examined through national security. Washington has restricted NVIDIA from selling its most powerful AI chips to China. It has limited exports of advanced manufacturing tools. It has pressured the Netherlands and Japan to align controls on semiconductor equipment. It has investigated Chinese telecommunications hardware and supported domestic chip factories through large government incentives. Now, memory chips are moving closer to the center of that conflict. Unlike cutting-edge AI processors, DRAM is not always seen as glamorous. It does not generate the same headlines as NVIDIA's newest GPU or Apple's latest processor. But memory is foundational. An AI accelerator cannot function effectively without it. A smartphone cannot multitask without it. A data center cannot operate without enormous amounts of it. Control memory, and you control a critical layer of the computing supply chain. That is why China has invested so much into CXMT. And that is why Washington may be unwilling to let Apple help it scale. The irony is that American export controls may have accelerated China's determination to build domestic alternatives. When Chinese companies believed they could continue buying foreign chips indefinitely, developing a complete domestic supply chain was less urgent. Once Washington began restricting access, self-reliance became a national priority. Chinese smartphone and computer manufacturers increased their use of domestic semiconductors. Local governments invested in factories. State-linked funds backed chip companies. Engineers searched for ways to produce advanced components without the newest American-controlled equipment. CXMT is one result of that pressure. The company still faces significant challenges. It remains behind global leaders in advanced HBM. Restrictions limit access to some cutting-edge manufacturing tools. Its products must prove that they can deliver consistent quality across millions of chips. Recent independent testing has also suggested that some CXMT consumer DDR5 chips do not yet match the consistency and overclocking performance of leading SK Hynix products. But Apple does not need record-breaking overclocking memory. It needs components that satisfy its own specifications reliably, efficiently, and at scale. That is why the testing matters. Testing does not mean Apple has signed a contract. It does not mean CXMT memory will definitely appear in the next iPhone or MacBook, and it does not mean Washington has approved the purchase. The process remains uncertain. Apple, CXMT, and the White House have not publicly confirmed the full details reported by the Financial Times and Reuters. But the fact that the discussion has reached Washington shows how far China's memory industry has progressed. A few years ago, CXMT was mainly discussed as a domestic Chinese project trying to survive export controls. Now lawmakers are reacting to the possibility that Apple may use its chips. That is a major change. The final decision could establish a precedent for the entire American technology industry. If Washington approves Apple's request, other companies may argue that they should also be allowed to buy Chinese memory for products manufactured or sold in China. That could provide CXMT with valuable customers, revenue, and international credibility. If Washington blocks the request and tightens restrictions, Apple will remain more dependent on Samsung, SK Hynix, Micron, and other approved suppliers. That could protect allied memory manufacturers, but leave American technology companies exposed to higher prices and a smaller supplier base. Either decision has consequences. Allow Chinese memory, and Washington risks strengthening a strategic competitor. Block it, and American companies may pay more while China continues developing its semiconductor industry through domestic customers. There is also a bigger question. How long can the global technology industry maintain two separate supply chains? One centered on the United States and its allies, another centered on China. Apple represents the difficulty of separating them. It is an American company. Its processors are designed in the United States. Many are manufactured by Taiwan's TSMC. Its memory may come from South Korea, the United States, or Japan. Much of its final assembly still takes place in China, even as production expands elsewhere. Its products are then sold around the world. Modern electronics were built through integration. The semiconductor conflict is pushing the same industry towards separation. CXMT sits directly in the middle of that transition. For China, the company represents independence from foreign memory suppliers. For Micron, it represents a heavily supported new competitor. For Apple, it represents another possible source of affordable RAM. For Washington, it represents a strategic industry that could become much harder to contain if American companies help it reach global scale. That is why this story is bigger than Apple testing one memory chip. It reveals the contradiction at the heart of the technology war. The United States wants American companies to remain globally competitive. But global competitiveness often depends on accessing the largest, cheapest, and most flexible supply chains. At the same time, Washington wants to prevent strategic Chinese companies from gaining money, technology, and credibility from American customers. Apple wants more options. Washington wants more control, and CXMT wants the contract that could prove China's RAM industry has finally arrived. The decision has not been made. Apple has not announced that CXMT will supply its products. Washington has not introduced a complete new purchasing ban covering every Chinese memory chip. But the battle lines are now clear. The next phase of the semiconductor war may not be fought over the world's most advanced processor. It may be fought over the memory sitting beside it. And somewhere inside Apple's testing laboratories, a small Chinese DRAM chip may be forcing the world's most valuable technology company to choose between the supply chain it wants and the government restrictions it cannot ignore. Because this is no longer only about where Apple buys its RAM. It is about whether China's next semiconductor giant will be allowed into the American technology ecosystem or blocked before it becomes too powerful to stop.